Yeah, it just kicked me off automatically, Todd. Sorry about that. It does that every now and then, though. It might kick me off. Every so often, it'll do that with me. It all might kick me off. So I gotta have this set just right. Because my internet, I can run multiple devices through my internet and have no troubles. I'm going to use the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back. I'm back. Give me a second here. Hey, Todd. I forgot. I got like 7 more of these in the refrigerator, so I'll drink one more. Just because they kicked me, I got kicked off. Oh. Now I got my PJs on. Well, they're more like insulated pants. Really can put your regular pants on to keep you warm. I wear them all the time. Because if I'm working outside, I don't want to get my butt cold. So just because I got kicked off, I'll drink one more. Just for you guys. Now this one, it's a 16-ounce can of Milwaukee's Best Ice. And it does got 5.9% alcohol volume in it. It's a little rough, but I could drink them. We're going to have, far as the, let's do today in history. I've got to do it earlier. I'm starting that now. I'm starting every night now. I'm going to do today in history. What happened on this day. Today in history. On this day, dispute of the United States U.S. president election, because today's the 7th. On this day in 2000, and I remember this, the U.S. presidential election is between George Bush and Al Gore, only to be settled on December 12th by the United States Supreme Court after a bitter legal dispute. And the only reason why that George Bush, not the old man but the younger one, won the election is because of one state, Florida. His brother Jeb Bush was the governor down there, so George W. Bush has a poll. Okay, this day in history, he was born on this date, Billy Graham, the most famous American evangelist ever born, 1918. And yes, he was Baptist. Let's see. year 2000, American politician Hillary Clinton. If you don't know who Hillary Clinton is, she was married to Bill Clinton, was the president of the United States, and he quote and unquote, "I never had sexual relations with that woman." The most famous line. She is an American politician and was the first lady to win an elective office. Bullcrap. And on this date, November the 7th, 1996, NASA launched Mars Global Surveyor, a robotic spacecraft designed to carry out a long-term study of the planet, conducted with the spacecraft which was lost. Now get this, 1996, when they put this out in space to study a planet. Are you talking about, Jim Baker? Jim Baker. You know he got in some freaking trouble because he had this program on TV called PTL. It is called Praise the Lord Broadcast, but they shorten the PTL. Well, he got in some freaking trouble. Tammy Faye Baker. Now let's look them up and let me see. I want to be awkward. Okay, here's what he got in trouble for. Looked it up. I just can't show it because he got in trouble for fraud between 1974 and 1974 and 1987. Baker hosted the television The PTL Club, which I was right, PTL, Praise the Lord Club. I was right about that. And its cable television platform, the PTL satellite network, with his then wife, Tammy Faye. And I was right, Tammy Faye Baker. And you know now, Todd, that he's back at it again. I mean, he's back at what he's doing as far as programming goes, but you wouldn't recognize him unless I tell you. He's got short gray hair, short gray beard, and he wears glasses. And Jimmy Swagger. I love Jimmy Swagger's music. Always did. But he came out on public TV, public television, because somebody ratted him out because he was with a prostitute. Back in 80, let me think, back in 87 or 89, 27 and 89. But But I gotta say one thing about Jimmy Swaggart. He got on, and from his pulpit, Jimmy Swaggart from the pulpit, and did it a thing where he confessed. And the most famous line he quoted was, "Lord, I have sinned." And let me tell you a backstory about him. He, him, Jimmy Swaggart and this other preacher had odds against one another. This other preacher swore up and down that Jimmy planted something about his car. And I think I did to his tires. So this other preacher came out and told everybody, said, well, he's with the prostitute. But Jimmy Swaggart, I gotta say something between Jimmy Swaggart and Jim Bakker. At least Jimmy Swaggart had enough guts to get on national TV and up from the pulpit and confess what he done. Told his congregation and told on national TV. And that's why Jimmy Swaggart still got SBN, Satellite Broadcasting Network. Runs 24/7. And he's still preaching. And the man's almost 90. His boy Donnie has took over most of the broadcast. But him, now here's something that you might want to learn, Todd. Jerry Lee Lewis just passed away. Did you know that Jimmy Swaggart and him are actually cousins? And they just got done doing, look it up on YouTube, they just got done doing the CD together. Before Jerry died. And Jerry had a stroke. But the man still can sing. Look it up on YouTube. That's why Jimmy's still on. Jim Bakker's not. I don't see anywhere because I got Spectrum. Robert Tilton. Let's look him up. There's another screwball. Hold on here. Okay. Looked him up. Yeah, he's still preaching. He still holds the chairman of the Faith World Outreach Center in Las Vegas. That's what it looks like now. Oh, oh, he's the former pastor of World Faith Family Church in Farmers Branch, Texas. And he just got his own hotel, but he don't own it. Okay, I'm gonna pull something up. Okay, and the only reason why he's got the hotel, I'm gonna tell you. It says right here. Robert Tilton trades mega TV ministry for a hotel in California. So he took his mega TV ministry and traded for a hotel. That's why he's got the hotel. He was doing good until 1991. And Ole Anthony emerged as the force that brought Tilton Empire to its knees. He had his ministry in Las Vegas, in which I've been to Las Vegas. So after all this been done, said Todd, Tilton moved to Florida where he tried to revive his ministry, and the guy that brought him down remains in East Dallas and still preaches. Uh, as for children, He left Miami for a mansion in California. He got caught by the IRS for $300,000 was paid. Now he's still accepting children. Is still accepting donations to his P.O. box in Oklahoma, not far from where those prayer requests were found. Now get this. People sent prayer requests in, right? They was found in the trash. Found in the trash. Because it says right here, not far from where those prayer requests were found in the trash bin years ago. And there was one to do an interview with him, but he's hard to reach. His website includes no phone number, and yeah. And it's pretty bad when they wanted to interview him. When he found out they want to do an interview with cameras, he comes out and says, no phones, no cameras. Children told us. Then asked them to leave. What preacher and what pastor would do that? None. And it says here, after 25 years and fall from grace, children may never escape the spotlight or his fate. That finds him in a tiny conference. Okay, you'll find him in a conference room at his hotel, in a tiny conference room outside of LA, California, preaching to a small flock. Now imagine that, Todd. Imagine that. You have a mega church where thousands of people come and listen to you, and then a guy, Ole Anthony exposes him, brings everything to light, like Jim Bakker. He brings him out, exposes them, tells the truth. Lose everything. You lose your church, you lose your money, financial stuff. Take people's prayer requests and send them 5-minute dumpster, and now you're downgraded to a small conference room, preach to a small crowd. You're up here. People expose you, now you're way down here. That's why I said earlier. Be ye careful who your friends are. Be careful. I've said this, yes, I am a licensed minister. I'll tell you that. But right now I'm not confessing it because I'm doing this, and I'm doing this. But let me say something to you, Todd. Remember what I'm going to tell you now. I've said this for years. Everybody that cries holy isn't holy. Look at Joe Osteen. Yeah, I'll throw it out there. Joe Osteen. I think he bought that gymnasium, like the big arena where they play basketball. He bought that, converted to a church. Well, where he's at, when that big hurricane hit, he never once opened his church doors up and say, "Come on in. You're welcome. Come in here. You're in a safe spot. We'll help you." He didn't do that. He didn't do that. And he's got he's got thousands upon thousands of people that goes to his church. Make a church. And he's supposed to be like Christ. Look what Jesus done. He fed how many people? 400, 500 people he fed with what? Three fish, 5 fish, 3 loaves of bread, and he fed all those people. Jesus never turned his back on nobody. But you got these mega preachers like Joe Osteen and them. Oh, we're like Christ. Oh, we're like God. We're like, well, when the people in the time of need was needing help, you turned your back. Their day's coming. When they got it on Judgment Day, they got to stand before God. You know what he's going to say? Depart from me, you work of iniquity. I never knew you. Never knew you. You turn your back on my people. You turn your back on the flock. See, the pastor of a church is the shepherd. The flock inside the church is the sheep. And the book of Jeremiah tells you, woe to the pastors that turn their flock away. Woe. That's a warning. That's God saying that's a warning. You lead my flock astray. In other words, you turn your back on them, you're in trouble. If your church happens to shut down, you are responsible for that flock. Say like the church happens to shut down, before it shuts down, that pastor is responsible to implant them into another church somewhere, just in case they couldn't open up another church up. They got to implant them into the church that they tell that church speaks the truth. See what I'm saying? That's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to do that until they establish another church. Then the flock can come back to that church. If the church happens to shut down, they got them planned somewhere until that happens. Then they come back. But in the meantime, they're supposed to make sure that flock, the same flock, the congregation, is in the church getting spiritually fed. The word. Not being a church to where they're getting their ears tickled. In other words, to hear what you want to hear. In 2 Timothy chapter 2 tells you, 2 Timothy chapter, I think it's chapter 2 verse 15 says, study to show thyself approved unto God. Let me get that real quick. I don't want to misquote it. 2 Timothy, I was right. 2 Timothy chapter 2 verse 15 says this, Todd. Study to show thyself approved unto God, a workman that not need to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. Dividing the word of truth. So a pastor has to not to be ashamed, break down the word, tell the truth what the word says, not sugarcoat it. And everybody knows what John 3:16 says. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, who should not perish, right? But it goes down to verse 17. It says, for God did not send his Son into this world to condemn the world, but save those which are lost. The word. I have read the Bible from cover to cover before. But there's stuff in the Word, like Galatians, so forth and so on, speaks the truth. It hurts. Gotta speak it. Once I get away from here, I'll start talking more about the Bible. And in the book of Matthew, I forget what chapter it is, I gotta look it up. But it tells you, and that's where I believe it, because I'm a type of person that I cannot get behind the pulpit and preach the word of God if my life's not lined up. Because it says you cannot serve two masters. You cannot serve God or mammon, which means the world. Okay? You love one or despise the other. Not my words. It's Jesus' words. And let me find out. You can't do one. You gotta do one or the other. And the most I've always pulled out is Matthew 7, verse 1. It says, "Judge not, lest ye be judged. With what measure ye met, it shall be measured you again." So therefore, if you judge somebody for what they're and you're condemning them, it's gonna come back to you tenfold. It says, "And with boast out thou mote that's in the brother's eye, but consider not the beam that is in thy eye." In other words, you better get the beam out of your eye first, where you can see right and make sure that you're living right. Then you go to thy brother and help him. I'm trying to find out. I'll find it here later and I'll mark it. Okay, Todd. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for joining. I totally understand 4 o'clock comes early. So I understand. Ye be safe, ye be well. I know Monday's a hard day. I'm very good off myself. So you be safe, well, Todd. And thanks for hanging out as long as you have. Appreciate you. I really do. I understand, Todd. I got you. I understood what you were saying. So you be safe, you be well, Todd. Thanks for coming in my lives. Thanks for supporting. And thank you. If nobody else does, then thank you all. Thank you. Thank you for not only supporting my lives and supporting my channel, but supporting everybody else's. You've been faithful. Bless you. Bless you. So you have a great night. I will find that scripture and I'll write it down. There's another somebody else on. Welcome in. I'll leave you with this one scripture, Todd. Actually, two. It comes out of Matthew chapter 5, and it talks about the Beatitudes. It start at chapter 5, beginning verse 10. I'm just going to give you 2 verses real quick. It says, Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you, and ye shall say all manners of evil against you falsely for my sake. I'll give you one more. Same to you, Todd. Bless you. God bless you, brother. Love you. Love you. Just remember, yesterday is the past, today is the present, tomorrow's the future, but this is what I say it. Yesterday is the past, today is the promised, tomorrow's never promised. Say your prayers. I'm a firm believer in that. Because I can lay my head down tonight and may not wake up tomorrow. And I always say, Lord, forgive me for anything I said or done. I want to make it right. You guys always in my prayers every night. Every night. I try to pray every night. I always try to pray every night. Always. I know my life's not perfect. I'm far from it. Far from it. Because I've always said this, like I said, I'm not Smith, but I'm honest. I will not get behind the pulpit, the sacred desk of God, and preach the word if my life is not lined up. I'm sorry. Won't do it. If I'm doing this, I won't do it. Because I'll be a hypocrite. I'll say it. I ain't scared. Because I'm old school and I'm old fashioned. That's what I was taught. Because I've been taught by the older generation, old school guys. Old school will tell you because of my pastor. I'll give my my mentor, my pastor, I still call him my mentor, bless her. It's like if you're doing something wrong and it gets back to her and she goes talks to you about it because it's biblical. It's biblical. She can set you down. If the problem persists, then she takes a witness. If the if it's not solved, then they can bring it before the church, the congregation. If the problem still ain't solved, then they can remove you from that church. It's biblical. I've seen it done too many times. And then this other pastor of another church, then when I was talking to him, because there's some issues coming to me, so I talked to him about it, and I said, hey, it's biblical. Showed him where it said it. I said, you know that you can bring him before the congregation of the church if the problem persists. And I said, it's up to you and the elders, or especially up to you. You can actually bar them from coming back to the church, because that's going to cause problems to your flock. For your flock to leave, you don't want to lose your people. He says, you know you're right. Yeah, I know I'm right. It says it. You see it? You read it? Scary. I know this one girl that got banned from the church because she lies so many times on people. They even lied on me. Now, I've been around them. Lied on me. Wasn't even near them. It went so far. I was over at a friend's house. It went so far, another friend of ours came in and said, Jeff, how was jail? What do you mean, jail? Well, so-and-so said that you broke into his truck and did this and that, and a friend of mine says, well, he has been in jail. I said, and I looked at her and I said, yeah, when did I decide to be in jail? I said, when this all supposed to happen? She says, he's been here about every day at my house. So I took an offense to it, and I said, and I told him, I said, we'll have to talk with the pastor of the church then. And I said, you're going to be there, and I said, you're going to tell him what was told to you. And I said, if he wants proof, and I looked, I said, do you mind if he talks to you too? She said, I don't care. She said, I'll tell the truth. You've been here in my house every day. So he said, oh, no. I said, oh, no, You got something started. And between her and you guys got something started on me. And I said, we're going to finish it. We're going to stop it right here and right now. I said, I'll be at the church Wednesday. Went there Wednesday night. I waited. And I said, we're going to wait till our church service is over with. We ain't going to say nothing for church because I don't want to get him upset. Because I know him personally. He was our mail carrier. My mom and dad's mail. He was our mom and dad's mail carrier delivering mail when I was younger. But anyways, after the service was over with, I went up to him. I said, "Hey, when you get time, can I talk to you for a minute?" But I said, "He's involved in this." He said, "Okay, Jeff." He said, "Not a problem." But I said, "I want to wait till everybody leaves until I want to talk to you personally." So that's fine. So after everybody left, and he looked at me and said, "Jeff, what's going on?" So I said, "Now," I said, "You know me for how long?" "Forever." And I said, "You know I wouldn't do nothing to hurt nobody or harm anybody. You knew I was raised right." "Yeah, I know you was." I said, and I looked at Kevin. I said, "Well, tell him what was said." Kevin says, "Well," he says, he mentioned this party's name, both of them. He's, "Well, so and so and so and so told me that he was sitting in jail because they claimed that he broke into their truck and stole this laptop, this, not, and the other." And he says, "I know better." He says, "I know Jeff for years." And he says, "I know Jeff will not take nothing off of somebody. It's either if they give it to him or he pays for it. But they're going around telling everybody that he broke in his truck, stole the laptop, and he was sitting in jail." And he says, "There is a witness," and we go over and talk to her. He done it, and I said, "Yeah," I says, and I told him, I said, "Yeah, she done gave me permission to come talk to her." And he says, "Jeff," he says, "I didn't know what was going on till I was actually over." He says, "Jeff, what day was I?" I said, "It was around about Monday, or yesterday." And I said, "I'm pretty sure you was over Monday talking." And he told the pastor, he says, he says, he's been at her house every single day when I told what days that he's supposed to be in jail. And he says, "Do what? Him?" He pointed me him. He says, "I never knew Jeff either." And I said, "Yeah." And I told him, I said, "Yeah." And I said, "I'm telling you what, right here, right now." I said, "I live with my cousin, but I said, I go from my cousin's house to her house. I'm there most of the day, hanging out. Sometimes she'll let me stay a couple of nights or whatever." And I said, "That's the only place I hang out." And I looked at my buddy of mine. I said, "Is that the truth?" He says, "Yeah." Jeff doesn't bother nobody. Never bothers anybody." And I said, "Roger," that's the pastor's name, Roger. I said, "Roger," I said, "Look," I said, "I love this old church, and you know I do. But," I said, "if you've got members like that of your congregation coming and lying on people like that," I said, "you're going to cause people to leave the church." And I said, "That's the reason why I haven't been here, because I cannot come in up in here for them to come be here, and for me to come up in here for them to lie on me like that." I said, "I don't go for that. That's wrong." I said, "That's sad." I said, "There's some discord among the brethren. The Bible says that." They're trying to divide the church and get trouble started. So I said, here's my thing. It's either, I said, it's more of her than him. I said, I knowed him for years. We've been friends for years. But since he got with, I said, I'm not bashing him. I said, since he got with her, it's been nothing but trouble. I've told him that. I said, Roger, I've talked to him about it. I said, I know how she is. I'll try to tell him, but he won't listen. So I said, like my dad used to say, it's either you learn the hard way or the hard way, so he's going to learn the hard way. So he learned the hard way. Then after all this was said and done, he finally divorced her. He's got a child by her, a little boy. But when they had the first one, bless his heart, it was stillborn. It didn't, well, it wasn't stillborn, but it only lived probably about an hour after it was born. Bless that little baby's heart, and bless him. Any parent should never have to sit there and bury their child. Never. But he had a little boy. Well, he's got custody of that boy. And he finally come out and told me one day, he says, I seen him down at the store one day, and we got talking. I told him, I said, man, I don't got nothing against you. Nothing against you. But I said, I've told you, and I warned you about her, but you did not listen. And I said, whatever she said, you freaking agreed with it. And I said, I'm glad you're away from her. I said, I'm glad. I said, now, you need to focus on you. I said, I'm glad that your mom's back. Bless her heart. Love her to death. I said, I'm glad that your mom's back with you. Now, you need to focus on that little boy and your mama. Don't worry about her. Yeah, you might have to sit in court or whatever, but other than that, don't have no communications with her, man. You got a baby to raise. And he says, well, it's kind of hard. And I said, yeah, I know it's hard. I got to get myself. But I said, he's grown. He's grown. I know how it is. Especially when you're divorced. You have to first fight the other party to see your kid. But then now I'm fighting another party. Now, because now I'm getting accused of stuff that I haven't even done. I'm accused of being with a girl that's claiming that supposedly I got her pregnant. Supposedly, I'm with her. Supposedly, that we're dating. So, you know what? I talked to another guy that knows her. He says, Jeff, he says, what you need to do is you need to come to my church. Hey, if you don't even know, I'm going to press charges against you. for harassment. And I said, no. I said, here's what I'll do, is I'll go to the pastor of over here at Rose Avenue where I go on Fridays, is I'll get her to the side. And she knows me because she works right down here at Community Action. She knows me. I'm going to say, Joy, I'm going to say, hey, 95% of my time I'm up here at the building. I said, the only time I ever leave the building is if I go walk down to the gas station, give me something to drink, or I'll walk over to Walmart. Any other time I'm with somebody around here. Either they say, hey, you want to go for a ride, or hey, you want to get out, whatever. Or go out to eat or something. I said, any other time I'm up there. I said, where she's getting this at, I have no clue. I said, she mixes, I said, she mixes stuff up in her head. So now I'm dealing with that. She said something to me Friday night, just totally ticked me off. She swears up and down, oh, she's under this girl that I know, same girl, is 24 years old. I'm old enough to be that girl's dad. So I'm going to have to run into them, her and her mom, and explain to her mom what this girl's saying. I said, hey, I said, you better say something to her. And she's going to say, why? I said, well, she's accusing me of dating her. She's saying that I'm having this with her, having sex with her. I got her pregnant. She's saying that I'm still dating her, that she swears up and down that she's telling her that that we're still dating. I said she's telling everybody Rose Avenue. And I know what I know what they're going to say. That's a lie. I said, well, you better. I said, what gets me is women saying that she quit hanging around, but yet then on the other hand, the next minute she's saying that they're talking, and she's still saying that she's dating you. So now I got to talk to the pastor over there and say, hey, this what's going on. That's what's happening. She's coming over here trying to cause trouble. And I said, what's going to wind up happening is, I said, it's going to cause me to quit coming. Not only that, not only that, there's been like 3 or 4 people hearing her talk about that, and they even told me that if I quit coming, they're gonna quit coming. I said I don't appreciate that for her to come over here lying on me. I said I don't do nothing. I said I'm up there 95% of my time. I mind my own business. I do what I need to do. You know, I said I keep my nose clean. I stay in my own lane. I don't bother nobody. I don't hurt nobody. People like that, you know. So tomorrow I'm going to send her a message. I got the pastor on my Facebook, and I'm going to send her a message tomorrow when I get up. I'm going to say, hey, um, I'm going to ask, because like I said, she works right down here. And I'm going to ask her, say, hey, if you have a few minutes, do you mind if I step in and talk to you for a minute in private? Let her know ahead of time what's going on, what's happening. You know, I hate to do it, but it's got to be done. And I didn't even say nothing to her Friday. Nothing. I'll be right back. If I can get up. I'm back. See that? See, people like that are ignorant. Because that gets you thinking. That gets you freaking thinking, okay? People talk like that. And then you have to worry every freaking day. that lies on you like that, and then you have to worry every day not knowing if, you know, come on. Come on. Stay out here. I don't bother nobody. I do what I gotta do through the week. Do my lives. And for somebody to do something like that on me, I don't got no use for 'em. Just like this other guy, he knows her, and like his show says, just go up there and press charges against her for freaking harassment. Do it. I said, well, let me talk to them first and see what I can do. And I should have, because her husband is the Fayette County Sheriff up here. And what I should have done here the other night, when he was standing out there, I should have got him to the side and said, hey, and explained to him, I said, hey, I don't appreciate to be lied on. If he says, well, what's going on, Jeff? Because he knows who I am. And then I said, hey, I said, Chris is in there lying on me. And I said, I've got witnesses. I said, I got at least three or four people to tell you right now. Right now. I said, you know where I'm at. I said, Miss Joy knows where I'm at. I always call her Miss Joy all the time, bless her heart. I said, Miss Joy knows where I'm at. I said, I'm out there 90% of my time. Don't bother nobody, don't hurt nobody. I said, I do my own thing. I said, the only time I ever leave is go to the gas station, Walmart, or I'm riding around with somebody. They want me to go somewhere to help them do something, whatever. And I'm back out there. But I said, this is what she's done. She said, she's claiming that I'm with this girl this night. Got her pregnant, so I said, so to speak. And I said, I haven't even seen them. I said, I've seen them probably about 2 months ago. First time I've seen them about 2 months ago for maybe over a year and a half. Year and a half. 2 months ago. And I said, she's telling a bunch of people what's going on. And I said, there's nothing. And I said, you can go and even ask them. Ask them. I can even take you to their house. Because I said, when I used to, and I'll explain, I said, the reason why I know where they live, because they used to ride the bus. And I said, they'll drop them off. So that's how I know. And I said, and I'll tell him, and I'll put a bug in his ear. And I said, and I'll say, hey, I ain't gonna mention his name, but he is the actual he's actually the Fayette County Sheriff. And I said, I don't appreciate this. I don't bother nobody. I don't hurt nobody. And I don't. So now she's spreading these lies like that and rumors and lies. So now I gotta watch my back. Because she'll go, because I know how she works, and a friend of mine, he just was out here today, and he knows it, and he knows how she is too. So now I got her freaking watch because she can turn the tables and say, oh, yeah, Jeff's over there saying that he's dating you and all this, that, and the other guys did this, did that. That's what she'll do. I got that to deal with. I got him to deal with because he's been a dick in the prick. Yes, I'll say it. He's been a dick in the prick right now, which I don't care. And I'll tell him. He says, "What's your problem?" I said, "Well," I said, "here's my problem." I said, "When you got somebody going around lying on you and going around stating that you're seeing this girl, you got sex with her, got her pregnant, and you go to jail for it and all this bull crap." I said, "I got to deal with that. And when I got to deal with you guys here." And you guys on my lives, and you guys watch my lives afterwards. You guys, the only guys I can actually can talk to. This is how I can express myself. Because if I talk to him, express myself, he thinks it's an argument. He thinks that, oh, he's drunk. He don't know what he's talking about. He's lying. And everybody else knows better in here. He's doing that as an excuse because he's been caught in the act. Because I'll explain something. He talked about this guy that was out here the other day. So I called him, put him on speaker. Put him on speaker. And I told him exactly what Tim said. And he said, "Oh, he's been calling you every day." And I said, "Hey," I ain't gonna mention his name. But I said, "Hey," I said, "Is this the first time I called you today?" He says, "Yeah." I said, "When's the last time I talked to you?" He says, "About 3 days ago." I said, "Tell him." I said, "I got your speaker. Tell him that. Tell him that." Because I told him, I said, "Hey." I said, "Hey." I said, "Every time I get on my phone, he thinks I'm calling." Because I said, "There's somebody told me that, well, there he goes, calling you, calling so-and-so. And it's somebody else I'm calling, not him." He said, and he told him, I had more speaker. He just called me all the time. He does not. He says, "Now I'll call him to check on him, just to make sure he's all right, like most people would." But other than that, he doesn't call me. He says, "Now," he told Tim, he says, "Now if I come out here," and I said, he does do it all the time, but every once in a while he say, "Hey, can you run me down to the gas station, get some leaves?" Other than that, he says, other than that, he doesn't ask. He said he'll offer, he'll offer, he'll ask me. And he told him. And what long he come out here and he told him. He says, "Yeah, some good thing he offers." He said, "Look at me, don't you, Jeff?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "Scott, you want a beer, pop, whatever?" I said, "I'll buy." And he says, I tell him no, because he needs his money. He needs his money. He says, think about it. Now, he says, now with you, now if he offers you something, he says, you normally take it, don't you? Well, yeah. Well, and you wonder why. And he says, you wonder why that boy don't got no frickin' money. No joke. No joke. Alright, guys, I'm going to get off here. I got 16% on my phone. Y'all have a great night. Be safe, be well. This how Mafia Piper keep the embers burning. And y'all take care.